Hey guys, Tomboy61, and today Tier 5 carriers are out. We're going to be talking about how to get them, the differences, new consumables, all that sort of stuff coming up. But before we do that, let's go ahead and talk about comment of the day. Comment of the day goes out to someone who comments on one of our previous videos. This one goes out to Orangefoot23. He says, I'm still confused on how to get the Langley on our last carrier kind of overview. And Orangefoot, I'm really hoping you watch this one because we're going to try to do a really good job of spelling it out for you. So here we go. Both the Ryuju and Ranger, which are the Tier 5 carriers, are out today in the test server. In order to earn them, you are going to have to do those assignments again. You should be able to find them in campaigns and missions named New Dimensions 5, which of course is leading to that they are for the Tier 5 carriers. There are two different kinds of challenges. The first, to earn the American carrier, the Ranger, is to get 2,500 XP over however many battles while playing in the airstrike mode. You have to use ships. You have to use either a destroyer, a cruiser, or a battleship. You can't earn this XP while in another aircraft carrier. The second challenge is for the Imperial Japanese Navy's carrier, the Ryuju, and to earn the Ryuju, you're going to have to win 3 games in destroyers, cruisers, or battleships. Once you do that, they should be awarded to you. They will only show up in that airstrike playlist. If you go to standard battle or AI battle, they are not going to be there because that isn't the test environment, essentially. Now, once you earn these 2 ships, they are very much the upgraded versions of the carriers we had previously. The aircraft are quicker. You'll notice that they're now monoplanes and not biplanes. The bombs do more damage. The torpedoes do slightly more damage. And they have sort of a couple of upgrades. One of the biggest modifications I noticed is that the Tier 1 modification for fighters now allows the fighters to be replenished 15% quicker, which I think is a definitely bonus skill and one that I will be equipping by default. The other unique new thing that is coming with these Tier 5 carriers is going to be the consumables for the fighters. You may notice now, if you press right on the D-pad, you see a radio next to fighters, and this gives a sort of counterplay option for fighters against other aircraft. And this essentially calls in fighters from your aircraft carrier and allows you to shoot down other planes, whether that be the bombing or torpedo runs from the enemy aircraft carrier or the kind of point defense fighters. If you notice that there's a group of people and they're all clustered together and they've used their catapult fighters, you can go ahead and call these guys in and they will start to deal with the catapult fighters, so that way you have a better, more clear run on this grouping of enemies, if that's the case for you. Either way, I do like the addition of some counterplay for the aircraft carriers. Now they have a way of kind of also being the counter to their own class on the other side. As far as new things or differences for these Tier 5 carriers, Ranger, she has a higher hit points pool than the Ryuju. Also, her dive bombs, once again, are just simply hard hitting. I think they do about 13,000 damage if you're hitting a non-really armored target, but you are, of course, going to be kind of hitting some armored targets out there, so we're looking at around 8k damage per drop, but that is still somewhat respectable for a sort of salvo coming from the dive bombers. Also, dive bombers are a lot more accurate at this tier. I definitely feel that the aiming reticle has been tightened up. I don't know if that is a thing, if that's a case of the tier being doing that, or if that's an adjustment Wargaming made. Either way, dive bombers are a little more viable at Tier 5, it seems, so I'm happy to try them out. Of course, the American torpedo bombers, not the greatest overall. They only do, I think, 35 knots, so they still, some ships can still outrun their torpedoes, and you're still going to have to lead a long way, and they still do a little bit minuscule damage. Also, the Ranger, holy crap, the turning circle is big. Over 1,000 meters. It takes over a kilometer for this thing to turn around. So be prepared for that. On the other side, the Ryuju, she's the typical Japanese carrier, or I guess kind of an upgrade of what we saw last week. Torpedo bombers, really strong on it, having a damage of 8,000. But the more important thing is the max speed of these torpedoes. They now have a max speed of 50 knots, so they are fast swimmers especially compared to all of the other torpedoes. This is definitely going to be something that you're going to want to take advantage of. If there's one thing I noticed being back in Tier 5, so playing Tier 5 and Tier 6 ships, was the sheer number of captains willing to take evasive maneuvers, especially if you're trying to line up cruisers. And when you do these torpedo runs on cruisers, their added mobility, especially in Tier 5 and Tier 6, means you're going to want a faster hitting torpedo. And that is definitely where I found some of the American torpedoes lacking, just because of the ease of being able to dodge them. But once again, this is something we will see throughout the week. Overall, I'm very excited for these new Tier 5 aircraft carriers. I'm looking forward to the week of playing with them. I hope it's kind of like last week, where they're not too overpowered. I'm really liking this kind of support class. I'll give more final thoughts near the end of the week, but for now, all I have to say is they're out. That's how you get them. Also included in this game mode, one other thing I forgot to mention is, of course, the weekly missions that are specific to this game mode, and that's going to be Born to Fly and Born to Swim, giving you challenges to do in both the aircraft and in the ships. Make sure you do them, because with them, they are giving out those Royal Navy crates, and for Born to Swim, they're also giving out a free big crate, which has some of the new ships to give away. It's a new drop chance on some premiums, so be sure to check those out. That's one easy way to be able to get some of the new heavy cruisers. We do have a review on the Hawkins later this week, so be sure to check that out. But that's how you would get the Hawkins or any of the other new British heavy cruisers. Definitely be sure to check them out, because I'm having fun with those new heavy cruisers, so you might as well have a free shot at winning some of them in early access, because if you win them in early access, you don't have to grind through them to get through the tech tree, and that's always some nice savings in time. Anyway, guys, that is my impressions, the first look, the overview of the Tier 5 carriers. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'll go ahead and put a poll up too. Which one are you preferring, the Ranger or the Ryuju? Go ahead and vote in that poll on the community tab. Guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow me on all of my social medias. That's Twitter, that's Twitch, that's Instagram, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See ya.